What up, everybody? YouTube Live. Are you guys still awake? Or am I the only one awake? Right now it's Thursday morning, exactly 1:30 a.m. 1:30 a.m. That's right. Apparently CBS All Access in their infinite wisdom, they decided to release Star Trek Picard at midnight. Now, that's actually a known fact. I should have looked up the information ahead of time. But I think I was not the only one who was under the impression that Star Trek Picard was gonna have the same airtime, if you will, as Star Trek Discovery. Because Star Trek Discovery, uh, new episodes air usually around 5 p.m. Right, 5 p.m. Well, their day is Sunday. So I thought it was gonna be like, okay, Star Trek Picard is gonna be like at 5 p.m. on Thursday, but no. So what happened is that, at least for this show, I think it's gonna be just like Twilight Zone. CBS All Access Twilight Zone series last year, produced by Jordan Peele. In that, new episodes of Twilight Zone, do you remember? They arrive at midnight. So Star Trek Picard apparently follows that same format. So I guess I tweeted like, I guess we're gonna have to get used to this midnight viewing party every Thursday now. So, but anyway, yeah, I've watched the first episode. I'm sure you guys have watched as well. If you have CBS All Access, first up, if you don't have CBS All Access, just go to my official website, ramascreen.com. Ramascreen.com is an affiliate of CBS All Access. So if you go to the website, my website, go to the sidebar, click on the banner CBS All Access, and subscribe through there, and that'll help me a bit. Okay. This review is mainly for those of you, my fellow Star Trek fans, who have also watched this first episode. So heads up, there will be spoilers in this live review. All right. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You've been warned. Just like many of my TV reviews that I do after the episodes air, there will be spoilers in this episode. Maverick VFX Season. I just finished watching the first episode. I have to say it's different but very interesting. I'm liking what I'm seeing. That's right. That's right. Let's break it down, Maverick. Let's break it down. First of all, Star Trek Picard first episode is basically Star Trek Nemesis 2. Come on, who are we kidding here, huh? That's basically what it is. It's the sequel to Star Trek Nemesis that never happened. So they made it happen with through this series. Um oh man, it's been a while since I watched Star Trek Nemesis. Do you guys remember what happened there? The details? I watched it. Yeah, that was 2002, man. Yeah, that was almost a couple of decades ago. Um, young Tom Hardy played the villain back when he was nobody or not famous yet, and it's about the Picard's uh, 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 clone. Jesus, I can't forget. It's freaking midnight, man. I'm having like memory problem. But then it's also about the Romulan Empire, right? And the movie, as I try to recall it, like I said, it's been a while since I watched Star Trek Nemesis. It ended with um, Data sacrificed himself by the end of that movie. I like how they mentioned before. Yep. So not the aftermath, the events in that movie affect the events in this series. So in today's episode, we are introduced to this character, this woman, young lady named Dodge. Apparently, by the end of the episode, it's revealed that she has a twin sister by the name of, let me get the name here. Man, I hope I can pronounce her name really well. Dodge. Is it Dodge or Dodge? So Dash, aka Soji, there you go. Soji is the twin sister. Apparently, she is a synthetic, a sentient synthetic, just like Data. And in this episode, I'm giving you the context here, okay? And then we're gonna break it down what I think about it. Um, in this episode, uh, the world, the 24th century, Picard's already old. He has his own winery, he has his own vineyard, and in this world, synthetics are banned because of the events with the Romulus star supernova. They got destroyed, and then there's this one lady. It's like, how could she exist? This thing has been banned for years. There's no way that she could be formed from any kind. And then later on, long story short, the mystery snowballs into Picard putting the two and two together. I was like, oh my god, maybe, maybe, this is like a remnant of Data, because Data downloaded himself before he sacrificed himself. Now, that is what I gathered from this episode. It seems that the mystery in this first season will revolve around this. How is it possible that Daj and Soji could exist? And of course, along with that will be the vengeance, the Romulans payback, basically. And apparently, Harry Treadaway, one of my favorite actors, if you've seen the Penny Dreadful series, he played Dr. Victor Frankenstein. So he played a Romulan here. He plays a Romulan named Narek. So that's awesome. So that's pretty much the plot, at least the gist of it from what I gather in this episode. It looks like, okay, that's the mystery that they're gonna go with. That's gonna propel Picard to form his own crew and go on this mission to get to the heart of it. And of course, at the same time, the Romulans are planning something villainous. Now, Romulans, as you know, my fellow Star Trek fans, um, is Romulans are a species that have always been, at least in the history of Star Trek, they've always been portrayed or depicted as antagonists. Even though they kind of like, maybe, I guess you could say, long lost cousin of Vulcans. But Vulcans are peaceful, logical species, right? But Romulans are like militaristic, and they're always like up in arms, and yeah, antagonistic, basically. So that's the villain for this season. And so here are my thoughts. I have my notes here. First of all, on a slightly fun note, that winery looks pretty awesome. Okay, I've been to Napa Valley many times. I have friends who live in Napa Valley. I visited. That looks like, wow. It's not. It looks so much more pristine than what I see in Napa Valley. It looks. I mean, it's supposedly set in France, but and then you see the little flying machine that kind of waters the the winery, the vineyard, as you say. It's pretty cool stuff. And it makes sense that somebody as classy as Picard to be owning his own vineyard or winery. I mean, like, of course. Why wouldn't he? Now, I gotta also let you know that Picard is my favorite Star Trek captain. Because Star Trek: The Next Generation is my favorite Star Trek series. I did not watch any of Voyager, unfortunately. Maybe parts of it, maybe episodes here and there, but I didn't watch it religiously. I didn't watch Deep Space Nine religiously either. I did not like Enterprise. Star Trek: The Original Series was more of my roommate thing. He's even a trekker like I am. He's more of a trekker than I am. But I grew up with Star Trek: The Next Generation. So so this is my captain, all right? I'm so stoked that he has come back. But I gotta be honest with you, watching this episode, watching Patrick Stewart back in this role, is it just me, or do I see more of Charles Xavier there? Maybe it's just me, but I'm like, yeah. Throughout the episode today, the Picardness kicks in every now and then, once in a while. But I guess I maybe because the memory of that movie Logan is still fresh in my head. Like old man Charles Xavier, frail, you know, not as agile anymore, kind of thing. So that's how I see Patrick Stewart now. Right? I was like, dang it, I want to see Picard, but all I'm seeing right now is just Charles Xavier. What the hell, man? uh, Another thing, also, I have it here on my note. Did you guys see that scene where Picard meets Dodge, and then right before Dodge explodes, unfortunately, right before she fights off the Romulans. Do you guys notice the building? That, my friend, I bet you, with the 50 cents that I have in my pocket, that's Anaheim Convention Center. That is Anaheim Convention Center. I recognize the building. I was like, what? They shot it right outside it. I was like, man, I mean that Anaheim is just like freaking 30 minutes down the road from me. I could have gone there when they were filming that scene and just say, hi, Patrick Stewart. So I'm geeking out too. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, "Woo, that's Anaheim Convention Center." Unless there's another convention center that looks like it, that looks like Anaheim. Otherwise, that is Anaheim Convention Center. So that's pretty cool. Shout out there. Shout out. Um, what else? Let's see. Chateau Picard. Picard. Okay, let's talk a bit about Brent Spiner, Data. Now, Brent Spiner, if you've seen him in Star Trek convention or comic book convention, you've seen how he looks today. He's gained a bit of weight, and he has that white hair, very white, like Bill Clinton hair. Um, so you can tell that I appreciate him coming back as Data. I mean, I love that he came back for that. The guy really believes in that character, man. He loves it. And I'm glad he's there for Patrick Stewart, his co-star. But you can tell he's aged. You can tell he has aged. I thought for a moment that CBS or the producers of this show were gonna put in money, visual effects heavy, to alter the appearance of Data to make him look like the way we remembered him last time in 2002, right? Or maybe even Data of the 90s or 80s. But no, apparently they just allow Brent Spiner the way that he is, so you can tell that he's a bit bigger on the face. Of course, Brent Spiner now has a belly, so they kind of shot it when he has to get like a full on body. It's like a wide distance, like from a distant kind of shot, and so that's cool. I don't object that at all. I just find that fascinating that I thought that they were gonna use today's DH technology, whatever you call it, to capture Data the way Data was 20 years ago, but apparently not. Apparently not. Another thing also that I find interesting is that the girl who plays Dodge and Soji, her name is Isa Briones. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. Isa Briones. And she was born in 1999. Wow. Oh, that makes me feel old. That makes me feel old. Like, this girl was not even born uh, when Star Trek: The Next Generation was at the height of its prime. You know, she was barely like 2 years old when Star Trek Nemesis came out. It's insane. When I found it, I was googling it. I was IMDb and I was like, "Whoa, 1999! Woo!" Oh man, oh man. Okay, so just those are just fun facts that I want to share with you. Along the way when I was watching the episodes, like, oh, Anaheim Convention Center. Oh my gosh, she was born in 1999. Oh, Data. Yeah, Data looks like Data right now. But let's get to the crux of it. I like this first episode. I like that Patrick Stewart is back as Picard. Um, I was hoping more of maybe it's gonna happen in the subsequent episodes, but it didn't. It did not happen much in this first episode. The first episode focuses heavy on the mystery, you know, trying to build up, trying to set the whole thing up. It's like, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is what you can expect or anticipate from the rest of the season. I get that. I get that. But I was hoping more of maybe we're going to get that in next week or the weeks, the episodes before, episodes after that. I'm hoping more of Picard going through the moments of passage of time. Passage of time meaning him feeling not really down. That's not the right word I'm looking for. Maybe nostalgic, or maybe even like something really existential. That's what I mean by passage of time. Like, man, all these years that I dedicated to Starfleet, all the years that went by after I left. I want more of that, and I hope that the subsequent episodes deal more and more with that feeling or sense of the passage of time, because we didn't get that in first episode here, and that's fine. Um, but as far as I want to comment one criticism that I have: the fight sequences, especially with Dodge versus the Romulans at the Anaheim Convention Center. That sequence, that whole thing was poorly staged, man. It was terrible. I'm sorry. All right, I I did not find it intense. I found the choreography really poor, really terrible, and the way it was shot as well. I mean, like they. I guess let's just put in the director's name here. The director is Hanel Culpepper. I don't want to put the blame on Hanel fully, but the way that they shot it, man, it's the way they edited that fight too, the fight scene, and they use J.J. Abrams lens flares. I hate that style. I hate the lens flares. It's so gimmicky. I never liked it. It was like, why? It's just, they it the way I see it is that you use lens flare as an excuse. The fight scene is shitty, so your way is like, oh, let's just blind the audience. so 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 they won't notice that the fight scene that we've staged here is pretty shitty. And I hate that. I hate lens flare and the way the whole thing edited, and there was nothing really exciting about that whole sequence. So that's one of my big kind of criticism about this episode. Um, but as far as the mystery itself, I like it. I was a little worried. I guess maybe I'm not the only one, but I was worried on how they would move or how they would continue the storyline. Like, really, you're gonna bring back Picard? The only thing that excited me is the fact that the story is moving forward, as opposed to Star Trek Discovery, which, as you know, is a prequel. So Star Trek Discovery is like the past, right? When you go through the storylines in Star Trek Discovery, you go in knowing that whatever plot that they have, it'll lead to this or it'll lead to that one. It'll lead to the plot that we remember from the original series, or the characters from the original series, because it's a prequel. Um, Star Trek Picard is a sequel. Like I said, it's Star Trek Nemesis 2. So it's there's not really a roadmap that we could see on how, or this is going to lead to this or that character. So that's the only thing I guess that really hooks me about the anticipation for this series. Like, oh my god, yes, new territory, fresh stories, right? So we don't know what to anticipate. um Although I did not expect the Star Trek Nemesis 2 thing. So, but I was concerned on how they would continue Picard's story. But they crack it. They cracked it, man. So credit to Akiva Goldsman, Michael Chabon, um, Alex Kurtzman. I think this is the right way to go about if you want to continue Picard's story. I think it's fantastic that they kind of uh, use the events in Star Trek Nemesis uh, to kind of propel Picard to go back onto space again, on his mission again. And I like it. I like it. It's interesting. Um, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season has to offer. Definitely. But that's it. That's pretty much all I have on my notes. It's really, really tough to have to wake up in the middle of the night, like midnight, just to watch a new episode of Star Trek Picard. But I guess we're just gonna have to get used to it. This is how it's gonna be. um, so let's see here. Oh, Maverick is here. Desmond Thompson's like, any good? I liked it, Desmond. I think it's good. I think it's good. The only criticism that I have is the action parts. But overall, I liked it, and I think the episode left me wanting to see more, and that's a good thing. And unlike the Next Generation, unlike Voyager, unlike Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Picard pretty much follows the formula or the format of Star Trek Discovery in that it is a long story form. So, like I said, this is a Star Trek Nemesis sequel, basically. So it's not procedural by a long shot at all. Maverick VFX says about Discovery, I'm hoping that Discovery Season 3 will take the leap into their own now that they're 950 years into the future. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Maverick, for reminding me. So, because of that twist, right? Not because at the end of Star Trek Discovery Season 2, right, Maverick, you recall that, and thank you for the reminder, the crew, the Discovery crew, went on their own way. And then, of course, as you remember, Pike, Spock, and Number One, all those guys, they kind of take a vow of like, oh, we're not going to tell anybody exactly what happened to the Discovery, So because the Discovery shot up like all the way into the future, then yeah, we don't know the roadmap there. We don't know the roadmap. We don't know where or which character or what place that that scenario will lead to. So you're right, Maverick. So in a way, it does make it also fresh on their part. So it's not necessarily a full-on prequel anymore for Star Trek Discovery. So let's see here. Data sacrifices life, saving Picard, firing at the Summer Tetheron's reactor, giving the Enterprise a chance to escape the blast. That's right. That's right. That's by the end of Star Trek Nemesis. I only watched it once when it was out in theaters a long, long time ago. So my memory of Star Trek Nemesis is a bit shoddy. So thank you, Maverick VFX. So that's it. Those are all the thoughts that I have, the notes that I have. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in with me. Thank you, Maverick VFX. Thank you, Desmond, for chatting with me. If you guys also have seen today's episode, the first episode, let me know your thoughts. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you excited about the rest of this first season of Star Trek Picard? Let me know your thoughts. What did you think about it? Share them in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe to my channel, press that like button. And Maverick says, hopefully they won't make Burnham a Mary Sue. Hopefully, hopefully. I'm just really looking forward to see Riker and Troy, because we saw the trailer, right? So that's gonna be cool when they show up. Season 2 is already greenlit. That's right. Picard season 2 has been renewed. So I'm glad that CBS All Access has put a lot of faith. Now, I guess my question to you, I'll leave you with this. My question to you, Maverick, and everybody out there. Um, Now we have a Picard spin-off, right? That's awesome. Which other character in the Star Trek universe would you like to see him or her having their own standalone series as well? Right? Now we have Picard. You know, you know in your heart of hearts, CBS All Access and Kurtzman have already started like thinking or brainstorming. Oh, like how CBS did with CSI, right? There's CSI Miami, there's CSI NY, there's CSI Abu Dhabi, whatever. Maverick says Spike. Ooh, a series based on. You know what? I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that. And real quick, I know we're going off on tangent here. The guy who plays Spike, Anson Mount, that that dude is so perfect in that role, right? I mean, the guy's already handsome as like he's a handsome devil, but he's like he really becomes Pike, man. And whenever he's on the screen or is on he shows up on our computer screen or TV screen, it feels like we want to see more of him. That's how magnetic his performance was as Pike. So, oh, really? Maverick says, really? You're saying that Pike is already being considered as a series, and Anson wants to do it? Okay, okay, that is new information for me, man. I'll take your word for it. And you know what? I would not be against that at all. I hope that comes into fruition. Um, CB Radio Lovers here. Gwynman will be coming to season 2. I can't read this. Allegedly Q. Oh, okay. So you're saying characters from the TNG. Okay, my bad. I can't see really clearly. I'm sorry. It's midnight. Patrick Stewart went on Whoopi's talk show and asked her to come back as Guinan. Oh, and she said, "Oh, I saw that. I saw that clip. The talk show you were talking about is The View. Um, I don't know if she can reprise her role as Guinan though. I don't know if she can because she is contractually obligated to be on The View. Um, she has to unless they figure out the scheduling. Unless they figure out the scheduling, my take is that The View is like an everyday thing, right? The View every day, like around the clock, like freaking 9 a.m. They have to be in New York. They do the live taping thing. So I don't know. I don't know if they can work it out. We'll see. Maybe it comes down to scheduling. Maybe she has to probably take a few weeks or a month off. Who knows? But it'll be great to see the rest of the characters come back. Would I want to see a standalone series centered around her alone? No. But I would like to see a standalone series centered around Anson Mount. So that'd be pretty cool. All right. Woo! I am so tired, man. Right now it's freaking 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning. How are you guys still awake? CB Radio Lover and Maverick VFX. Oh man. Freaking CBS All Access. Also, she was the only entity that Q seemed to be afraid of. Okay. All right. We'll see if that's the direction that they're going with this the rest of the season. I doubt it though. I doubt it. CB Radio Lover. Like I said earlier, they're gonna focus more on the mystery surrounding Dodge. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. And the fact that Romulans are making a comeback or a payback. So I think those two will be the engine that drives the story forward in this season. The rest will just have to wait, or if they're gonna bring it for the second season, which, as you know, has been greenlit or renewed for. So that's it. Thank you so much, you guys. I think Q will have something to do with all of it, though. All right. I hope so too. I hope so too. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. And Maverick says there was a rumor that the creator of Family Guy wants to buy the rights to Star Trek. Wait, the creator of Family Guy. Wait, you're talking about what's his name? McFarlane, right? McFarlane, right? I thought he already has a Star Trek esque series. What was that called again? I rarely watch it. I think I watched the first season. I liked it. Seth MacFarlane. Yes. What was that Star Trekky show that he has for himself? Ah, yeah. Let me put it in. Can't seem to remember things anymore. See, this is why when you're up like freaking 2 o'clock in the morning, which we are right now, I can't remember shit when my brain is all fried, man. Um, the Orville, shit, the Orville. Yeah, yeah, I watched the first season. It was pretty good. The Orville was pretty good. It really, I think it really plays to the Star Trek the Next Generation fans more than Deep Space Nine or Voyager. The Orville. Um, yes, the Orville is being moved to NBC. I guess because Fox doesn't like keeping their shows. Fox always cancels their shows, man. Fox sucks. The Orville will not be on NBC, by the way. I checked. The Orville will be on Hulu. But you're right. Hulu is owned by NBC Universal. So there's that. Um, but I haven't heard about the rumor that Seth MacFarlane wants to buy the rights to Star Trek. I haven't heard that. That's the first I've heard of it. Can he do that? I don't know. Does he have the money? Of course he does. Seth MacFarlane is one of the richest guys in Hollywood. But I don't know if he would. We'll put a pin on that rumor. So we'll take it with a grain of salt. Okay. All right, you guys. I need to get some sleep. Thank you, though, Maverick VFX. Thank you, CB Radio Lover, for chatting with me and for sharing your theories and your thoughts here. What a fantastic first episode, right? Come on, give it a hand. Applause to CBS All Access and Alex Kurtzman and Michael Chabon and Akiva Goldsman for making this happen. I mean, finally, right? Star Trek Nemesis 2, aka Star Trek Picard. We all wanted it, and now we have it. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a good night. Get your sleep. Let's rock this.